And you know what? Further to my brainwashing video, I'm going to unbrainwash myself, and when I get a place here in Sweden, I'm going to buy a Volvo. I know many of you will laugh and say, why a Volvo? You can buy something else. But no. While in Rome, do as the Romans do. While in Sweden, do as the Swedes do. So I'm going to do what these guys do and be like everyone else. And I'm going to learn Swedish. I've already bought some lessons, and that's my mission, because I find there's so many people who live in the UK who don't speak English or speak very, very basic English because they never leave their communities. I think that's the kind of problem with the British people. When we go abroad to Spain and France and other places and have our own little communities, we tend to stick within our own and don't learn the local language. I'm totally against that, so I'm going to make sure that I learn the language and integrate into the society. So I don't know if I mentioned this already, but I'm going to repeat this. But basically, I rented a flat in Gothenburg and a house in the countryside in the region where I'm looking for a place to buy. So I go between the two, and I spent a couple of days in the countryside while I had these appointments, and now I'm driving back to Gothenburg, and yeah, I'm very lucky. This guy is a God-sent angel who's really was on a holiday at the right time, because he has gone to South Africa on a holiday for a month, and I was coming to Sweden, and he has these two places that I rented out the country house from him, and he said you can use my apartment as well. So it's very nice of him. So there are some really, really lovely people everywhere, and the places are amazing. I'm trying my best to look after them as much as I can without knowing what his routine is, but I'm with the electricity prices and everything, I was making sure that I wasn't using any electricity that was not necessary. I was keeping the temperature down on the heaters and switching off all the lights and keeping the place clean, and yeah, so I'm really happy, and it's nice to not take advantage of nice people and do something nice back for them, because obviously he's a nice guy and he's trusted me with his homes. So and he's German, and he's living in Sweden since I think 9-10 years or something, and yeah, so there'll be an Englishman living in Sweden now, I hope. God, I'm so happy here. I just don't want to go back to London. I hope that my house and my flat will be sold when I go back, and then I just don't have any shackles tying me down to London, and I can just go and live a simple life somewhere in the countryside. Maybe I'll do the same, buy a tiny apartment in the city where I get the job, and have my home in the countryside and just live between the two. Too old for this city life, and this new me that has come about with this old age, midlife crisis, enlightenment, spirituality, whatever you want to call it, has changed the way I think and look at the world. So still love the cars. I don't know how I'm gonna get over this, but well, at least I'll have one car and something that I like. Well, or no, doesn't have to be the one I like. It has to be something practical and useful. God, I can't believe I'm saying any of these things. Unbelievable. Oh my God, a truck landed into a ditch halfway, the rear side of the truck. Gosh. Good morning. If you don't know what I look like in the morning, now you do. I woke up, my hair is a complete mess, hence I'm wearing a cap, and I'm in the kitchen in this beautiful place called Sweden, and Oh my god, look at this. This is like heaven. There's an old stove that you can use with wood. And then obviously there's a fridge and there's another one over there. And modern electrical stuff, dishwashers and things. So yes. Time for some coffee. I travel with this little coffee machine everywhere because you don't know what kind of coffee you're going to get, so I take my own. And we have the little monster here waiting for his food, his travel bowl that is very useful, and he also has a travel water bowl, which is a non-slip and a non-splash. Shall we just put you here for a second? Oh my god. I slept for, I think, 8 hours really well. And now, even though I'm awake, I'm not awake. Oh my god, in this light, in this video, I have breasts and a big fat belly, even though when I look down, it's not there. But the light coming from the top. Very unflattering. I look like a pregnant person. Right, let's feed the child. So this is what I was talking about. When you're traveling, it flattens and it goes into this. It's quite useful. I'm sure those of you who have animals already know this. So I am very fussy about the kind of food he gets. So his food is very good quality. Because either you spend money on good food, or they keep getting sick and then you keep taking them to the vet. So you're going to spend money anyway. And then I mix this dry food with this wet food that comes from Devon, and it's so good, the smell, that you can actually eat it yourself, I think. I've not tried it, but it's good quality dog food. What brands are they? The dry food is James Well Beloved, and the wet food is Fort Glade. Those of you who live in the UK and can get hold of this, I highly recommend. Not sponsored, but just very good. So I've been looking at houses, as I said, and I am so exhausted. I drive, I don't know, 200 or 300 kilometers a day and look at houses, and some of them are really horrible, some of them are nice, but then they're in the wrong location, and it is hard. I've been here for over a week. I made offer on one house, as I said, that I didn't get. Second one I've made an offer on that I like. I haven't heard anything back because the person who's selling it is not sure if they want to sell it. And then I have another one that is in a very bad state, but it's a big house on a beautiful location. It's like on top of a hill kind of thing. I'll try to put some pictures on here. That's the house, the little garage, big enough for 2 cars, but it's in a very bad condition. And then this is the land around it. It doesn't belong to the house, of course, just to see what it looks like. This little road leads to a lake. And it's very nice, but it needs a lot of work. I spoke to some builders and they said it's going to cost double the price of the house to fix it, so hence it's cheap. But I don't have much money, so I have to buy something that I can afford, because everything is so expensive here in Scandinavia. What else can I tell you? I'm looking out of the window and that's what I see. See? It's lovely. They have different types of lights. Some are very old, some are new, and that's why I think there's some flicker. Camera can't understand different types of lights.